Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So pack your bags. You're going on a guilt trip. This is something my brother used to say when we were kids growing up. We definitely were teenagers because, the sarcasm element was thick at that point. But that's what we would say when my mom would have a lecture about something that we did or didn't do or whatever. Like, pack your bags. You're going on a guilt trip. But let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about this. There's a lot of guilt that women feel about taking care of themselves. And it's been something, that I've I can't remember who I was talking to about recently, and I was like, I dropped the mummy guilt shit a long time ago. I just really was just like, this is some horse shit to think that, whoever, society thinks that I should be as a mom, or that people think I should be as a mom and a wife, and who people think I should be as a chiropractor. I had all this guilt about it. And when I was with my kids, I felt guilty I wasn't in the office. When I was in the office, I felt guilty I wasn't with my kids. It was just this constant, I had this feeling of, definitely from when Tyson was born, and then when we were placed with Kai. So Tyson was almost 3 when we were placed with Kai. We adopted both of our sons from birth. And so, I can remember especially when Kai was born. Now I have 2 children. I've got two young ones. And I'm in my practice full time, because with adoption, at least I didn't, and I was the one who was in the practice, because my husband was out of the practice by then with Crohn's, and I had no mat leave with either boy, and so this feeling of guilt, just not doing enough, not being enough, just fucking not enough, and this constant feeling of being pulled in all directions. Never really doing one of those things well, and feel like I'm doing all of them. So feeling like I'm fucking up with my kids, I'm fucking up with my husband, I'm fucking up with business, I'm fucking up and not taking care of myself. So as I was getting a massage today, and I did some stand-up paddleboarding this morning, and I'm definitely investing a lot more time into me now with my body healing through this recent injury. And just really fucking listening. My body's just saying, Karen, you gotta slow. And, a week ago when I thought that doctors thought I had a blood clot, which is super serious. And here I am a year from 50. I just turned 49 last week, and I was like, fuck. Maybe my body's starting to break down. I went through all this shit, right? Which is all horseshit, by the way. Which is the state that I was in. But you have these experiences, right? And found out about a day later that it wasn't. But hey, by the way, here's some, we're going to inject you with these drugs before you leave for the hospital that night. We need you to come back the next day when ultrasound is open, get the ultrasound done. Here's the drugs you're going to be taking for months at a time. Here's all the side effects. By the way, you can still have an embolism on these drugs. It just reduces the chance. It was just a fucking, to me, a death sentence. Number 1, to be on any kind of drugs. Number 2, ones that are going to have an effect on me in the long term. And number 3, now it's restricting the way that I have to live my life. It's fucking awful. I was in the pit, deep in the pit about it. And so as I'm, healing back pretty significantly, the swelling in my calf is still there. It's a Baker's cyst, which is fluid, think of a little sack of fluid behind the knee that burst. And when that burst, it's got to go somewhere. So it decided that little chunk of synovial fluid is going to go right into my calf. And so it's this kind of little bulging spot in my calf right now. But my gait, how I'm walking is better. The pain is significantly less, if not pretty much gone. I'm still a little bit guarded to be careful, but been pouring a lot into me. And even when I reflect back over the last year, when injury stuff started for me, I've been caring a lot for me, and not just physically, but listen, physically how that affects mentally, emotionally, taking care of my outside appearance, hair and nails, and lashes, and waxing, and hair, and I said hair also too. And massage. I'm just coming out of massage. That's why I'm feeling a little bit loopy right now. And I'm sitting on the massage table on that note today, and I'm like, I started to feel kind of guilty. And I realized that this is not a judgment towards my husband, but like, I take better care of me than he does of him, and he has Crohn's disease. And I suddenly went to a place where I'm just like scarcity. Like, if I take the time to take care of me, then that means that's time stolen away that he could be investing in him. Even though my time is his time and his time is his time. But I still started to feel that when I'm like, listen, I'm taking time to get for me. This could be time I could be like earning money and be in my business, and I'm not. But really, when it comes down to a big picture, you invest in you and take care of you. I will earn that money and most likely more in my business because I am caring for me, right? So the time that I am working, I'm focused and I'm well and I'm congruent too, for fuck's sakes. This is part of the message of Women Wanting More. If I'm not doing that, who the fuck am I? You shouldn't be listening to anything I'm saying. By the way, that goes to play with anybody. And I know this triggers some people, but if you have a trainer that is like, teaching about fitness and they're overweight and out of shape, like, no. If you have a, person that's helping you with money and they're fucking broke, no. If someone's a realtor and they don't even own their own home, like, nope. Like, there needs to be that congruency, right? With what you do, what you teach, how you speak, and how you show up in your life. But I found myself being in that place of guilt, and I was like, wow, this is interesting. What do I do with this? There's such a celebration in our society. I know, particularly for women, to like juggle all these balls in the air, right? And you can, listen, sister, you can do all the things you want to do and have all the things you want to have. Like, you seriously can. It just might not look the way that you think it's supposed to look, right? But there definitely is a glorification of women as martyrs. Oh, she sacrifices herself and what she wants to do for business to take care of her kids. How awesome is that? Look she sacrifices and doesn't take care of her so that, her husband can do what he needs to do for him. Isn't that beautiful? She runs her health into the ground because she's caring for her husband and her children and maybe her parents and other extended family. And isn't she just like oh my God, she's such a saint. Glorification of running yourself into the ground, you not being true to the desires and the things that you want within your life. But yet telling other people that they should have theirs. Raising your children to say, you can do and become anything, my children. And you not doing the things that you want to do. I believe in you, kids, but yet you don't believe in you, right? There's such an incongruency isn't even the right word, like bullshit, right? Like, just bullshit with that. It's not okay. So as I lied there on the table and I'm like, this guilt stuff is it's just that. And I realized in that moment that guilt is a choice. It's a choice. Nobody makes me feel that way. I make me feel that way. And I realize that it's even though I say, and I did believe in saying those things where I'm just like, fuck, I'm over the mom guilt. Like, that's just not me anymore. And I truly believe that when I say it. The bottom line is it's still tough to wrangle that line, right? To be like, wait a second, I'm taking time for me today. I want to stand-up paddleboard. My husband got a board for me for my birthday last week. He is away essentially yesterday or tomorrow all day, which is Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday. He's got 12, 13, 14, something like that, men coming up for one of his Men of Iron live events. Like, he will be gone 10 days after that at a Warrior Business Summit. Like, you know, the time that I have, because Ed does travel some. It's also traveling the end of July for speaking, or June for speaking engagement in Vegas. That, hell's yeah, I'm going to take care of me. And fuck no, I'm going to feel guilty about it. Ridiculous. I'm deserving of everything that I want in my life. I'm deserving of loving myself. I'm deserving of wanting all the things that I want without any apologies, without any guilt about it, without any stories. And it's my choice to take that on, just like it can be my choice to let that shit go. So here's your more tip for today then, sister. Where do you feel guilty in your life right now? Like, you might feel guilty when it comes to the time you take for you, right? That same kind of like mummy-ish guilt, if you will. You might feel guilty about you investing money in you. Like, I'll tell you one thing I've come to realize about running live events for women, which I've done with Women Wanting More, is that there's a lot of women that have, the guilt is so fucking heavy. They can have the cash in the bank. They can have more money is no fucking issue. And they will invest several $1,000s for a live event. Like, they're able to. There's no issues. Their husbands, like, all this kind of shit. And you know who holds them back? They do. They do, because they feel guilty about taking this time for them. And there's no excuse, right? They have the time. Their husband's been like, no, I want you to do this. Like, I support you. Here is the cash. Like, we are good. And or they earn their own money. Like, they can pay for it themselves. But they won't do it. Why? Because of that guilt. So it holds them back. And they stay stuck. And they're not doing what they want and living the life that they want truly. They're not fulfilling their desires. And so the resentment builds. The anger builds. And the funny thing is they think they're doing it to help other people. But then the people that they think that they're helping, they end up lashing back at them later. Husband and kids, more specifically. So with this more tip, where are you feeling guilt in your life right now? And the second piece of this is, what do you need to do to begin to let that shit go? Like, really? It's toxic, sister. Guilt is so toxic. And just like you chose it, you can also choose to let that go. So what is one action step you can take in the next 24 hours to begin to let that guilt go? So, sister, a couple things finishing up. Number one, I want you to make sure you subscribe to the Women Wanting More newsletter. There are so many of you that are still not receiving this. You're not getting VIP access to everything Women Wanting More, all advance notice of special programs that are coming out, special masterclasses. I'll be doing a lot in the coming months. And I'm also going to send you my More 4 action guide, which is really how to start your day in power, and a short video training. So if you're not on the newsletter right now, head over to drkarenosburn.com/action guide so you can subscribe to that. So that's number one. Number two, you need to be in the sisterhood. Just straight up. You need to be around women who are like you that want these same things. And you are not able to do this alone because you can't. Because I can't. I need to be around people who are like you, that inspire me, lift me up, support me, love me, and are like me. So head over right now to drkarenosburn.com/sisterhood, and you can sign up for the sisterhood for free, for $1 for the first 7 days. And number three is this: make sure to subscribe here to the podcast if you don't already, so you can get every single episode delivered to your phone 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And I want you to go ahead and leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Yes, a 5-star review. That's right. I said it. I'm asking for it. That's what I want from you, sister. You get this podcast for free. I would like for you to pay it forward, and your words could absolutely impact another woman that needs to hear this podcast and is searching iTunes right now and saying, I don't know, it's all these different podcasts. Which one should I listen to? Give her a reason why she needs to listen to this one. And you can help to impact and affect another woman and help to transform her life. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.